Hey there, amazing viewers! Welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you're here with me today for another exciting dive into the world of XRP. No matter where you are in this incredible world of ours, I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. Let's jump right into today's topic because I've got some fascinating stuff to share with you about XRP. The $27 XRP prediction buzz. So, here's what's got everyone talking. Crypto Brothers just dropped an XRP price prediction that's getting serious attention. They're talking about XRP's super trend setup, mirroring historic rallies, with a $27 target that's really gaining momentum right now. And here's the interesting part. I'm seeing about 20 different analysts calling for that same 27 XRP price point. What's wild is that just a few months ago, some of these same people were predicting $4 to $9. Then it jumped to $10 to $15, and now they're all aboard the $27 train. You know what this tells me? We're probably going even higher than that. Here's why. XRP has this incredible habit of doing the exact opposite of what everyone expects. It's like XRP loves to surprise us and blow past those predictions that everyone's so confident about. Let's talk numbers, your potential returns. Picture this with me for a second. If you're holding 1,000 XRP and it hits that $27 mark, that's $27,000 right there. Pretty exciting, right? This is why I keep telling you folks, and I can't stress this enough. You don't need 20,000 XRP to make real money in this space. It's not just about how much you're holding, it's about your long-term strategy and patience. Here's the game-changing question. Are you planning to stake that XRP for passive income? And then, here's the smart move. Reinvest some of that passive income back into XRP month after month, because that creates this beautiful compounding effect that pushes your passive income even higher over time. Remember my golden rule: never, and I mean never, overinvest in crypto. Only buy what you can comfortably afford. Sure, more is always better, but not at the expense of your financial security. Ripple's aggressive growth strategy. Now, let's talk about what's driving all this excitement. Ripple's thesis is crystal clear. They're being super aggressive about growth.
And Ripple's thesis has been, okay, now is a time to really be aggressive about growth. And that is both organic growth and continuing to build. We're in the payments business, leveraging core technologies around blockchain and the XRP ledger around payments. We're in the custody business. We're in the stablecoin business. And then earlier this year, to your point around mergers and acquisitions, we spent $1.25 billion to buy Hidden Road, a prime broker, frankly the largest non-bank prime broker out there. And we bought for $200 million, a stablecoin company called Rail, which was one of the leading stablecoin companies for the enterprise. So corporate treasury looking to use stablecoins to solve some of their internal movement of money, and that has been a great acquisition for us. So we're going to continue to play offense. I hope I have some more news on that very, very soon. And we think now is the time to invest, and that partly because of that macro shift in government policy for the United States. I hope I have some more news on that very, very soon.
Did you catch what Brad was saying there? It sounds like Ripple is gearing up for another major acquisition. But what's really exciting is how well-rounded Ripple has become. They're not just a payments company anymore. They're deep into tokenization, custody services, stablecoins, and so much more. And here's the key point that ties it all together. Every single thing Ripple does brings more value to XRP over time. XRP isn't just along for the ride. It's at the absolute core of everything Ripple is building. Exchange drama and why self-custody matters. Speaking of things that affect our investments, there's some serious drama happening in the exchange world right now. Vincent Van Code made a really interesting point. He's been calling out Binance for months, saying they've been rolling traders just like a casino. except they're unlicensed and unregulated. Then we've got Crypto.com CEO calling on regulators to investigate Binance after that crazy $400 billion liquidation event caused by their faulty internal price oracles. That's not a typo. $400 billion. Here's my honest take on all this. I simply don't trust keeping my crypto on exchanges long term. My strategy is simple. Buy on the exchange, then immediately move everything to my own wallet. That's what I suggest everyone does. Think about it. When you're a crypto investor, you really don't need to keep everything on exchanges anymore. I actually showed you in a recent video how you can connect your Decent wallet directly to the XRP ledger. And yes, full transparency, I do have an affiliate relationship with Decent, but you can do this same thing with Ledger or other wallets too. The bottom line, we're moving into an era where we don't need to rely on exchanges for everything. And that's incredibly empowering for us as investors. As Vet pointed out, Binance is caught up in all this drama because their predatory practices for new listings finally got exposed. This just reinforces why taking control of your own crypto custody is so important.
The crypto world is evolving rapidly, and those of us who stay informed and make smart decisions about security and long-term strategy are going to be the ones who benefit the most. What do you think about all this? Are you ready for that potential XRP rally? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that like button if this video was helpful. Subscribe if you haven't already. I've got so much more exciting content coming your way. The exchange problem and the banking solution. Let me remind you of something that really shows how broken the current exchange system is. Remember when Coinbase made Ripple pay for XRP listing back in the day? Just because Ripple existed. That tells you everything you need to know about these centralized exchanges. The way forward is crystal clear to me. Decentralized exchanges all the way, and I'm 100% on board with that direction. Here's what I think is going to happen, and it's actually pretty exciting. Eventually, the banks are going to replace most of these exchanges. Why? Because banks are already jumping into the custody game big time, and they want to offer crypto options to their customers. Once banks really open up crypto services, I think they're going to make it feel legitimate for most people. Right now, let's be honest, a lot of people see crypto as the Wild West. They think it's shady, risky, something they don't want to touch. But the moment their trusted bank starts offering it, boom, suddenly tons of people will feel comfortable jumping into crypto. Now, would I personally go into crypto through a bank? Absolutely not. But new investors? They'd definitely come in that way. And I think we're going to see that shift happening sooner than we think. Breaking news. Banking licenses in motion. Speaking of banks and crypto, here's some breaking news that's got me really excited. The US OCC has officially approved a crypto bank called Erebor. And guess who's next in line? Ripple National Trust Bank. Here are the dates that matter. Erebor filed with the OCC on June 11th, 2025. And Ripple filed on July 2nd, 2025. So here's the million-dollar question. Could Ripple possibly get their banking license way sooner than we expect? Most people are saying this won't happen until 2026. But what if it happens by the end of this year? That would be absolutely game-changing for XRP. Technical analysis. The time is now. From a technical analysis standpoint, the message is clear. Buy XRP as soon as possible. Anyone paying attention can tell you that this market is gearing up for a massive rebound. Here's my conservative take. Anything you put into XRP right now, you can expect at least an 8 to 10 times return from current levels. And that's being conservative. A lot of other analysts are expecting XRP to pull off a 30x or more in this cycle. Think about that for a second. A 30x on XRP puts it around $90. Can that happen? Absolutely. I'm seeing people make even much higher predictions for this cryptocurrency. Some are saying it's going above $1,000. Others are calling for even higher numbers. The potential is mind-blowing. What I'm watching for. But here's my strategy.
I'm going to wait and see how the ETFs affect XRP's price first. I also want to see what happens with ISO next month. Plus, I'm keeping a close eye on when we're going to get regulatory clarity passed in the United States. All of these factors benefit XRP tremendously. And if Ripple gets that banking license, that could be incredibly bullish as well. But here's the thing. You should always be accumulating XRP. Every single day, I tell people who've never invested in crypto before, listen, if you want to make life-changing money, here's your opportunity. If you buy now, you're not even really tying up your money for long, because this run is going to start at any moment. Nobody knows exactly when it's going to happen, but we all know it's coming. The bias in the market.
Here's something that really caught my attention and shows you how biased some of these analysts can be. Notice how this particular analyst positions XRP as going way down the risk curve into the lower cap assets. Does he not know that XRP has a higher market cap than Solana? Of course he does. But look at the sponsor in the bottom right corner. You'll see it's a Solana company. That tells you everything you need to know about the bias here. Take a listen to this.
Now, most of the investors that we speak to, these financial advisors and RIAs, don't know that much about crypto, or they're early on in their journey. And so they're excited about Bitcoin. They've maybe heard about Ethereum because they hear about stablecoins and tokenization. Maybe they've heard about Solana. But once you get past those assets, we really don't get a lot of questions. Maybe XRP, maybe the Cardano question every once in a while. So I think it's going to take time before flows go into those assets, certainly. I do think there will be more crypto enthusiast investors who do want to go out down the risk curve and they want to choose the lower cap assets.
Here's something really interesting that this analyst admitted, and it's actually great news for us XRP holders. He said they don't really get a lot of questions about XRP, maybe Cardano every once in a while. He thinks it's going to take time before institutional flows go into those assets. But here's what he's missing. There absolutely will be crypto enthusiast investors who want to go down the risk curve and choose what he calls lower cap assets. Notice how they're pushing Solana as the next Bitcoin or Ethereum? They really don't like talking about XRP. But here's the thing. They can't help but talk about XRP. That tells you everything you need to know about XRP's importance in this space. XRP's inevitable rise to the top. Here's what I'm telling you, and I'm confident about this. When these institutional investors arrive, they're already looking past Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're thinking about what's next in line. And what's next in line by market cap? It's going to be XRP. XRP is going to take back its number 3 spot. It's just a matter of time. Once this next breakout begins, XRP will once again be the number 3 cryptocurrency. But I think it's going even further than that. I believe XRP will flip Ethereum in this run. That's not just hopeful thinking. That's what the fundamentals are pointing to. And will it flip Bitcoin? There's a very good chance of that happening as well. I'm telling you, if that happens, it's going to be an absolutely incredible day to be an XRP investor. You're going to see all these people all over X, Twitter, who fight against XRP every single day. Those people will be completely silent. Real-world utility, travel rewards revolution. Speaking of real-world adoption, here's some exciting news that just dropped. Weebooz has filed a press release with the SEC announcing plans to establish a tokenized travel reward exchange platform integrating XRP stablecoin settlement. This is designed to enhance cross-border reward redemption and value conversion across the entire loyalty industry. While they haven't identified specific stablecoins in the announcement, anyone paying attention can understand how this will integrate with the XRP ledger. Now, there's no direct mention of XRP's role in the announcement, but here's what's brilliant about this. It's targeting real-world problems. They want to improve liquidity, transparency, and interoperability between airlines, hotels, and reward ecosystems in what's currently a fragmented $20 billion loyalty management market. This isn't just theory. They're already contemplating pilot programs in North America and Asia with travel partners. And you know what people are saying in the comments? They're absolutely right. They don't need to specifically mention XRP
because anything that runs on the XRP ledger involves XRP either way. The network effect is starting. This is where it gets really exciting for the long term. Whenever it comes to rewards programs and systems like this, once one starts running on blockchain, other companies quickly follow suit. It creates this incredible network effect. It's the same principle we see with banks. If two banks start utilizing XRP and RippleNet between them, suddenly other banks want to jump on board too. Before you know it, we have mass adoption spreading like wildfire. African expansion, custody solutions taking off. And here's more proof that Ripple's strategy is working perfectly. Today, they announced that Absa Bank South Africa, one of Africa's leading financial institutions, is now Ripple's first major custody partner in Africa. They're bringing institutional digital asset custody to South Africa, providing the secure and compliant infrastructure needed to meet rising institutional demand. I told you that custody solution was going to be huge.
Here's what Ripple said in their announcement. The leading provider of digital asset infrastructure for financial institutions, Ripple, today announced a strategic partnership with Absa Bank to provide digital asset custody to the bank's customers in South Africa. Through this partnership, Absa will leverage Ripple's institutional-grade digital asset custody technology to deliver scalable and secure storage for tokenized assets, including cryptocurrencies. This is just the beginning. You could very well see future treasury companies across Africa utilizing Ripple's custody solution as well. This is all starting to happen right before our eyes. The perfect storm is building. Here's what really gets me excited. These are all things we were waiting to happen years ago, and now they're happening in real time in 2025. This is why I keep telling you, you're not late yet. But that door is absolutely closing fast. I'm telling you, one day you're going to wake up and the price of XRP is already going to be ramping up. I mean, already above 2 digits. And people are going to be scratching their heads asking, well, what happened? Why is the price so high? Then they're going to discover that XRP has gone live on all these rails that Ripple's been setting up behind the scenes. The complete infrastructure picture. Think about what we've got here. The custody solution alone is massive when it comes to tokenization. You absolutely have to have a custody solution. You have to have a bridge asset to move those tokenized assets seamlessly, and then you pair that with cross-border payments. Like I said, Ripple is incredibly well-rounded. The XRP ledger is amazingly well-rounded. And all of this infrastructure, all of these partnerships, all of this real-world utility, it all benefits us as XRP investors. The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together after years of development, and we're about to see the full picture emerge. Stay patient, stay ready. But until all of this fully unfolds, my advice remains the same. Stay patient. The biggest gains come to those who can see the vision before it becomes obvious to everyone else. The adoption is accelerating, the partnerships are multiplying, and XRP is positioned perfectly to benefit from every single development. We've been waiting for this moment for years, and it's finally here. The future is looking incredibly bright for XRP holders who have the patience to see this through. Until next time, stay safe out there, and keep hodling strong.